We are back with more F1 24 content, this time a last to first challenge with Esteban Ocon at Canada, because Ocon just got fired by Alpine and the next race is in Canada, so I feel like it's fitting. Also, something really important to mention, that I won't be making any new videos until for 3 weeks basically. I already pre-recorded 2 videos, one for the Spanish Grand Prix and one for Le Mans. Also, I'll try to get another video out by Saturday. I haven't recorded that yet, but I'll have to get it out by Saturday. I'm just basing it off what makes sense to release those videos. But here we go right now with driving this Alpine here in Canada. I'm just doing one-shot quality to test like how close am I to the AI, and I thought I was pretty good, but even though I'm dropping off a bit here, that's because I made a mistake going into Sector 2, and right after the hairpin, I'm gonna retire the car and start from the back of the grid. And doing this race made me learn a bit more about the game, about how the new ERS works. So that was pretty helpful, as Lando Norris gets pole with Leclerc second, Sainz third, our teammate Gasly in 6th. Pretty interesting. But scrolling down, Max Verstappen's 1.8 off of pole. I guess this game is unrealistic after all, as we're gonna advance to the race. As you can see in the strategy screen, I originally opt for a medium to soft, but I don't commit to it. Anyways, lined up on the grid now, 5 red lights, and away we go for the last 2 question mark challenge here in Canada. I get a pretty okay getaway, getting caught up between Perez and Sargent, having to brake there to back off, and going into turn 1 I have to cut the corner to back off. And we actually try to go around the outside of Perez. I'm not sticking it though, because Perez is on my inside and he's trying to close the door. He's having a bit of a scrap with Logan Sargent, and I think Verstappen tried to stick his nose in down the inside. As I find an opening on Logan Sargent's Williams, we get past, but Perez goes for a super aggressive move, kind of like Lewis Hamilton Miami, but this time he actually has end plate damage. But he has better straight line speed right now because of said damage. And we go down the inside, getting up into P18. No, 17 actually. Now, one thing from this race that I learned is that they still haven't fixed the chronic straight line speed the AI have. The straight line speed deficit between my Alpine and the AI is crazy, and it's on equal performance. As whoops, I cut the corner a bit, never mind. I should probably set it to strict corner cutting, but never mind, as we're gonna do a massive dive bomb on Daniel Ricciardo going into the hairpin, and that's gonna happen throughout the race. That's literally the only overtaking opportunity for me throughout the race, because they're going super slow, and yeah, the AI are just bunched up through the hairpin. They don't try to make a move or anything. As a bit of lag, that's fine. As Lando Norris sets the fastest lap, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take that back from you, sir. Look at that, 111.3. Now going on into lap number 4, actually no, later down in the lap, sorry. I'm again the same move on Lance Stroll this time. I think he locks up there. I lock up as well, making contact with the rear right of Oscar Piastri and a bit of his side pod as well. You're gonna have DRS open. Not gonna try and drain my battery, but look at that, only lap 3, and I'm already down 35%. Stroll looking for a move down the inside, that's fine, pushing him in slightly, but yeah, covering off enough going into the Wall of Champions chicane. Now again here on lap 4, going through the hairpin, the only overtaking spot on this track, almost rear lock there, keeping Piastri at bay. But we lost way too much to Magnussen. We're way out of a slipstream now. And talking a bit about the game, this is where you can see, looking at your bottom right, I'm switching between ERS modes. Basically going through the low speed corners, I'm turning it off. But then back on exit, I'm turning it on again. But I'm not consistent with it. It's super hard to do that at the same time as paying attention to the track. But I really find that pretty fun, and that's what I like about this game. And another thing I learned about this game, as we go down the inside of Kevin Magnussen, he hangs around the outside though. We're gonna fast forward a bit, but one thing I like about this game is that in previous games it was mainly trail braking that gave you the pace, but here you also need to manage the throttle a lot, way more than on F1 23. So even though this game's handling is terrible, the core game itself is actually really fun as I make a bit of contact with the rear of Magnussen there. The core game itself is pretty fun. It's just I can't get behind this handling. But I do know the patch is coming around 11th June, I guess. I won't be able to make a video on that. As I'm going through the hairpin again. Another easy move through the hairpin. A textbook move, as some would say. Yeah, really, that's just the only overtaking spot in this entire track. Going on to lap 7, you can see I'm about to do the same thing with Tsunoda. Maybe not. I'm way too far behind. We will see going into the hairpin. Yep, way too far behind, locking up my front right. I think it's quite silly that this game doesn't have flat spots yet when like AMS2 does. Like, it's not visual, but at least simulate the flat spots. As I'm going down the back straight now, trying to keep Magnussen behind as well. And then now the Wall of Champions chicane. Can I get Yuki down the main straight? And the answer is no, because the straight line speed deficit is way too much. It's like I have a 2014 Renault engine and the rest of the grid have a 2019 Ferrari engine. To be fair, this Renault sound in F124 sounds like the Renault engine in F1 2014. As now going down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda in the hairpin. That's just gonna happen throughout the race. That's the only overtaking opportunity now, but trying to keep him behind. And as you can see, I do not commit to going long on the mediums and then a late stop for the soft compound tires. The undercut is pretty strong with equal performance cars, but this proves to be the wrong strategy because I get slightly held up from Gasly as we're doing a double stack, and I'm also going to get held up again from Lance Stroll as he's exiting the pit lane at 1.9 pit stop though. That's cool. So we have more positions to make up because I think I did pass Magnussen, Stroll, and Tsunoda. So we're going to have to overtake them again. Crap, this is a really bad situation for me. As I'm down the main straight going into turn 1, I get past Lance Stroll. And do I get the undercut done on Oscar Piastri? Not quite. Almost found the inside, but I'm going to have to back off and wait for the next chance to get past Piastri. We're up in the P15 now. It probably would be P11 if I stayed out instead of getting caught in the double stack. And you can see now, going through the hairpin, classic move. Actually lock the rear slightly, closing the door on him. We make contact twice. And we're now having a drag race on the back straight. Who will come out ahead of this? It's looking like Piastri has the upper hand. He's going through the Wall of Champions chicane. He covers off the line and, oh no. Ignore that ever happened. Doing this again, this time backing off as Piastri. I cannot do anything about it. Apart from hope that he's slower on the main straight, but that we all know that's impossible. Also, in my case at least, for equal performance races, it's really easy to drain the ERS because you're just trying to keep up with their straight line speed. And yeah, if you don't use your ERS, you're screwed. But looking now later into the lap, into the hairpin again, this time rear locking, almost going into a drift, but we get fully ahead of Oscar Piastri, and also using the ERS again. I feel like the F1 game should really introduce an aggression slider because I feel like sometimes the AI are a bit too aggressive and sometimes they're barely aggressive at all. So it would be very nice to have an aggression slider. I don't know why they don't have it. Literally every other sim has it. I don't even think you can consider the current state of the game a sim, as I lock up twice on both tires. That is very cool. And now routine overtake at the hairpin on Kevin Magnussen. Next lap is on Tsunoda, and I'm managing my ERS better. You can see we're at 21%, not trying to use all of it down the straights and through the low speed corners. You don't really see it, but I'm actually turning it on and off as we get past Tsunoda again, and you can see there 45% on the ERS, so saved about 25% compared to the last lap. And now looking onto lap number 14, overtaking Zhou Guanyu, and one more overtake until we're in the points positions. Well, I would have probably been in the points positions like 3 laps ago if I stayed out one more lap or pit earlier, but whatever. Time to get past Nico Hülkenberg down into the hairpin. Again, another really easy move. This time attempting it on Lewis Hamilton as well as I touch his side pod. And I think I kind of force him way behind DRS range. But the slipstream won't be that sensitive. We're actually getting a pretty decent run. But in the end, it will equate to nothing as Hulkenberg tries for a move going into the Wall of Champions chicane. I almost touched the Wall of Champions. Almost had a crash. Maybe that shows that one day Esteban Ocon will become a world champion as well. Maybe. Maybe leaving Alpine is good for him. What if he joins Mercedes? The 2019 prophecy will come true. As I'm again just hanging back Lewis Hamilton, trying to save ERS. I'm going to the hairpin 5/10 behind. Can we make this move stick? Yes, we do. Actually shifting down pretty late. You can see there, turning off the ERS. Didn't really gain that much battery, but it's fine. We're side by side with Lewis Hamilton. I'm gonna have to try and maintain this gap, and there's really no point trying to maintain this gap because his straight line speed is infinitely quicker than mine as he covers off the inside line, and I go through, found a really tight squeeze going through the chicane, and now we're up into P9. And fast forwarding to the final lap, final attempt, I'm gonna try on Fernando Alonso, and hopefully we can get Valtteri Bottas as well going into sector 2. DRS going to be wide open right about now. I've saved quite a bit of ERS from lap 17. That should be pretty useful and helpful going into the back straight. And we get a better run off the corner than Fernando Alonso. You can see there, we already get past Alonso before the hairpin. And we're also going to get Valtteri Bottas going into the hairpin. I think I actually made them. I think I forced them into making contact with each other. We get up into P7. And nope, Alonso is not going to be able to get past me. He's going to keep Bottas behind. He tries to go for a move on the inside of the chicane. Not going to work. We're going to finish P7. It probably could be P4. But whatever.
Good job, guys. Good job, everybody around. At least with me for the first race. It's been great, and I'm looking forward to more.
So that will do it for today's video. That was good fun. Probably could have been a podium, but whatever. Let me know what you guys want to see more out of F1 24. I won't be able to make a first impressions on the handling patch that's coming next week, so I might skip out on that. I'm still waiting for a cheat table for F1 24 so I can do the custom driver transfers and career, but for the meantime I'll probably do a Kamui Kobayashi career when I get back from holiday. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hit that follow button. No, this is not TikTok or Instagram. Hit that like button, subscribe, and see you for the next video.